Okay. Hey, it's Mystical Storms here. I have to re-record this because I just didn't feel like having to go back and figure out when my mom called me because I forgot to bring out the dog food. Oh my god. Obviously still live with the fam, but I just want a peace and quiet, Not have to be up in the middle of the night to have peace and quiet. Ugh. Eh. It's not like I'm not gonna be here for another few years until I'm done college, so. Hey, it's what we do to save money. Anyway, this is a podfic that has very sensitive content. It has quite a few warnings, but right now there's only one chapter, and there isn't much to it, actually. I think they're planning on making it longer or have more episodes. This was actually posted on October 8th, so I'm guessing this will end up being a series. So if it does end up being a series, I'll read the rest, but for now, it's a one-shot. At the moment, I'll just, if you guys are, I'll put the warnings inside the description, but over half of it isn't really shown in this chapter, so yeah. Anyway, if these things is not your cup of tea, but yeah, if it's not your cup of tea, please just don't read it, don't listen to this, or well, this one mainly just has talk about anxiety attacks and like a hospitalization because they were getting bad, and a very light reference to abuse. But yeah. So if those things are not, if you just can't deal with those things, please don't listen to it. But I'll put the warnings inside the description of those that are more relevant inside this one, and I'll put also the rest that are probably going to be for the future. But for now, I'll just put in the ones that are relevant to this chapter. So, yeah. Well, let's go. This is called Innocent Eyes, and it's by Cody9E. Izuku, can you please be good this time? This will be the last chance, or else you'll be put into a group home forever. There is nothing else I can do for you. The last couple was really happy with you until you kept running away. Izuku, can you please look at me when I'm talking to you? Fumiko has been Izuku's caseworker for the last 5 years. It's the same thing every time. They all give him back, especially once they find out he's quirkless. No one wants a useless Deku. Izuku began being in foster homes since the age of 6, when he was removed from his father's care. His mom died when he was 4, and left to his dad's care. He was found by his teachers with multiple black and blue bruises under his clothes, and the teachers lodged a complaint to the authorities. The local police investigated his home, and they found the house to be absolutely filthy, no food in the fridge, empty beer bottles scattered through the house. Izuku was found in a room with a dirty mattress on the ground without bedsheet or blankets. No clothes. It looked like he hasn't taken a decent shower in weeks. After the leading officer did a physical exam on Izuku and finished his report with his findings, he deemed the home environment for Izuku was unsafe, and he was removed immediately and put into foster care. Izuku is now almost 13 years old and has been in many foster homes that he lost count. Some families were nice enough to feed him, but most of the families that fostered him just wanted to have extra money they got from the government. Izuku, can you look at me when I'm talking to you? Izuku, can you look at me when I'm talking to you? Izuku sat on a chair in her office, playing with the cuffs of his sleeves. He said nothing in response, refusing to look at her. Why does it matter? They will just give me back anyway, Izuku mumbled under his breath. Fumiko sighed. Izuku, please. I'm at my wit's end with you. You are making it impossible to place you in a foster home. No one wants a runaway. Can you please promise me you won't run away this time? I think this couple would be really good for you. Izuku shrugged in response. Izuku always been a quieter kid, especially when it came to adults. Over the years, he learned not to trust adults of any kind. They just normally smack them around when he speaks to them. How dare you speak to me like that? You're only here because they pay me to take a brag like you. No wonder family doesn't want you, you ungrateful piece of shit. One of Izuku's old foster carers shouted as he pulled Izuku's hair to make him look at him. All Izuku did was ask for some food since he was hungry. Not long after the incident, he ran away. He was picked up by the police a few days later. The family refused to take him back. Izuku was thrown back into a group home. The group home was where the foster kids stayed whilst waiting for their foster families. Izuku was one of the unlucky ones. Almost every kid he saw that came through the group home found a home. Izuku was the only one that kept being returned. Izuku was lost in his thoughts. That he didn't even realize his caseworker had walked past him to open a door. Please go pack your bags. They'll be here within the hour. Izuku groaned as he stood up and pushed past Fumiko, refusing to look at her. He stormed up the stairs to his bedroom to pack a bag. He didn't really own much. He packed some clothes. He always packed his hero analyst books and the only photo that he had of his mother. It was a photo of him and his mother when he was 4 years old at the zoo, taken only a month before she died from a hit-and-run accident. She was on her way home from work. She only worked a few blocks from their home, so normally she'd just take the bus from work. She finished her shift a bit later than usual, so there was no buses running, so she decided to walk home. Unfortunately, a drunk driver had hit her. She died on the impact, and all the driver got was community service. Izuku began to feel a lump on the back of his throat, beginning, and tears starting to fall in his eyes. I miss you so much, Mom, he tears as he looked at the photo of his mom. He heard a soft knock on the door. He shook his head, wiping away the tears. What? Izuku responds irritably. Your new foster family's here. Can you please come downstairs? Fumiko instructed. Izuku threw his yellow bag. It was an old and worn, but it was a present from his mom that his mom gave him when he started preschool. He doesn't have the heart to throw it away. As he came out of his room, he could hear voices at the end of the staircase. This is Valium, Fumiko advised. Valium? A deep man's voice questioned. Yes, he only needs it when he feels a panic attack coming on. I have written a list of a few of his triggers. Please make yourself familiar with them so you don't accidentally stress him out. It has been a few months since the last decent panic attack where he was hospitalized. Hospitalized? If he needs to be hospitalized due to panic attacks, he needs much more than Valium, the deep man's voice concerned. I know, I have tried, but they said Izuku's too young to start daily medication, which is atrocious in my opinion. The man just hummed in response. Izuku made sure to slam his door shut so they wouldn't know he was listening to their conversation. Ah, finally, Izuku, please meet Aizawa. Aizawa and his lovely partner have agreed to foster you. I'll leave you two to be acquainted. Fumiko turned towards Izuku. I gotta go. I have some appointments I have to get to. I'm sorry to leave you like this, but you're in good hands, Izuku. Please be good. Fumiko pled, leaving Izuku and Aizawa alone. As Izuku made his way down the stairs, he studied the man at the end of the stairs. He was a tall, middle-aged man, and with long, unkempt black hair and stubble. He also looked homeless. He made Izuku nervous. Aizawa knelt down so he was eye level with him. Hi Izuku, I'm Aizawa. Nice to meet you. Aizawa introduced himself in a calm manner. Hi, Izuku quietly murmured, looking everywhere but at Aizawa. Izuku has always struggled with eye contact, especially with older men. He had He had too many bad experiences that he has learned to just not trust them. Aizawa just hummed in reply. My car's parked in front. Have you packed everything you needed? Izuku nodded in response. Good. Let me grab your bag for you. Aizawa stood up, offering to take his bag. No, I mean, no, thanks. I can carry it, Izuku stuttered, walking past Aizawa towards the front door. Aizawa quickly following right behind. This is my car. Izuku directed Izuku to a black BMW. Interesting. Not the car you expected. Izuku made his way in the back seat. You can sit in the front. No thanks. Izuku replied anxiously while putting on his seatbelt. Halfway through the drive, Halfway through the drive to Aizawa's place, he suddenly spoke. I'm sorry, my partner isn't here to greet you. They have an emergency at work, but you'll meet them tonight. Izuku noticed he never used he or she pronouns, only they. Interesting. Before anything, I have a few house rules. Aizawa spoke, looking in the rearview mirror. Izuku was looking at the window, spaced out, and Aizawa cleared his throat. My first rule is the most important rule. I must know where you are at all times, whether you have gone out with a friend to the movies or you're going for a walk. For your safety, I must know. Following this rule, no staying past 8 p.m. or 7 p.m. on a school night. Izuku nodded in agreement. It's not like he has any friends to hang out with anyway. The third rule is to clean up after yourself. You make a mess, it's your responsibility to clean up. Please help yourself to do anything in the kitchen. Any food is yours. If you want to cook, though, I must supervise if you wish to use a stove. Izuku just nodded again in reply. After the one-sided conversation, the drive to Aizawa's place was quiet. They pulled into an underground car park in an apartment complex in the city of Mustafu. Aizawa guided Izuku to the elevator, pressing the 11th floor. Apartments at the 11th floor, apartment 52. Izuku said nothing in response, making a mental note to remember the apartment number. Again, the elevator ride was quiet. The door opened with a ding. Aizawa led them to the apartment, Izuku following quietly behind him, eyes locked to the floor. We do have a cat. Her name is Lodi. Please be careful when you come and go from the apartment so you don't accidentally let her out. Aizawa said as he opened the front door. Izuku looked up with a hint of excitement in his eyes. So he likes cats. Aizawa thought. Aizawa flicked on the lights. Right, before anything, I'll give you a tour of the place in your bedroom. Aizawa directed Izuku to the kitchen. Here's the kitchen and our living room. Again, please help yourself to any food. It's all yours, and you can watch TV whenever you like. Just please be mindful of the volume. Izuku nodded, scoping out his temporary home. I have two bathrooms. One is in the bedroom, and then we have the main bathroom, which is used for company, and now will be your bathroom. Please do try and clean it up. Aizawa continued down the hallway. Here is your bedroom. Aizawa switched the light of the bedroom. Temporary bedroom, Izuku reminded himself. This is only temporary. He gives himself a month before Aizawa sends him back to the orphanage. He was so lost in thought he didn't realize that Aizawa was still speaking at him. Izuku, did you hear me? Aizawa asked softly. Izuku stared at him blankly. I said you can decorate it however you wish. It's your bedroom now. We can take you shopping during the week to get you anything you'd like to make it your own. Thank you, but that won't be necessary, Izuku whispered. Aizawa looked at him with a sad smile. I'll leave you to get yourself set up. Dinner will be ready in 45 minutes. I'll call you when it's ready. Aizawa shuts the door behind him, leaving Izuku alone. Izuku dropped his bag at the end of the bed, sitting on the edge. Izuku dug in his bag and grabbed one photo of his mom, putting it on the desk. Izuku studied the bedroom. The bed was pushed on one side of the room, a plain white desk next to the bed, and a set of chested drawn pushed on the other side. A set of chested drawers pushed on the other side. It was all very plain. After walking around the bedroom, he came to realize he needs to use the bathroom. Izuku quietly opened the door. Peeking outside, he saw the light on at the end of the hall, towards the kitchen. He could hear voices in the distance. Izuku tiptoed down the hallway. He's doing okay. He's very quiet though. He hasn't spoken much. Izuku could see he was speaking to someone on the phone, clearly talking about him. He snuck past to use the bathroom after washing his hands. He tiptoed back to his bedroom after 40 minutes or so. There was a soft knock on the door. Dinner will be ready in 10. You'll need to come out and help set up the table. Would you like to come out and help set up the table? I'm sorry, Hizashi won't be joining us tonight. He got caught up at work. You'll meet him in the morning. Izuku wondered who Hizashi was. Is that his partner? He never mentioned the name. Izuku followed him in the kitchen. All the plates are on the shelf there, he instructed, pointing at a top drawer. Izuku grabbed 2 plates, placing them down on a dining table. I wasn't sure what you'd like, so I just cooked some udon. Izuku nodded in response. He helped Aizawa set the rest of the table and putting out the food. Itadakimasu. Aizawa and Izuku spoke in unison, digging into their meal. After about 10 minutes, Aizawa realized Izuku hasn't touched much of his meal, only a couple mouthfuls. You don't like udon? Aizawa questioned Izuku. Oh, no, I do. I'm just not that hungry, Izuku stuttered. That's okay. If you can't finish it, then we can wrap it up and you can finish it tomorrow for lunch. Aizawa grabbed his and Izuku's bowl once they were finished eating. Izuku managed to eat about half of his meal. Aizawa made a mental note to keep tabs on Izuku's eating. He has noticed Izuku was a lot smaller than normal boys his age. Not a very tall eater. Izuku was helping Aizawa wash the dishes when they heard a meow. Izuku felt the tail brush against his leg. That's Lodi, Aizawa introduced. Lodi is a beautiful rag doll with black markings on her face that makes her bright blue eyes stand out. Izuku bent down to give Lodi a pat. She ran off. Izuku frowned. Lodi can be shy with strangers, but don't worry, she'll come around. Aizawa dried his hands off on a tea towel. Come on, it's getting late. I think you need to rest. Aizawa walked Izuku to his bedroom. I'll be just down the hall if you need me. Please just knock. Okay, thank you. Izuku appreciated. Good night, Izuku. Aizawa shuts the door behind him. Izuku changed to PJs and climbs into the bed, suddenly feeling exhausted from today's events. It didn't take long before sleep overtook Izuku.